My journey had only just begun, and I was finding myself already fighting off disappointment in what it was.
There's one perspective where adventure doesn't come to you, you have to choose it. But then on the other, there's the things that have to get done. Sleeping in a parking lot is maybe not the most aesthetic thing, but like, it has to happen sometimes. I guess it just ebbs and flows, and that's life, and that's a thing that I need to accept as I'm on this journey.
But I was struggling to accept that. The idea that the moments of non-adventure would be far more vast and aplenty than I anticipated, while the moments of magic felt few and far in between.
I'm still so grateful for the opportunity to do this journey. It's just acknowledging the reality of it sometimes. It's the thing that has to be done.
But even with these feelings taking hold, I knew I was in too deep to simply accept that. Tomorrow, I would chase adventure. I first discovered this place from a vlogger.
Oh, is that the thing?
It's a plane in the middle of the woods.
Oh, is that the plane?
While looking for inspiration for this journey, I rediscovered it, learned it was right on my route, and I immediately decided I had to go. I mean, how could I not?
Look at that. That's a plane in the woods.
A rundown plane in moss-covered woods. Not in a screen, not in a book. Real.
This place is so cool.
But in spite of its popularity amongst travel vloggers, it was only the day before I came here that I found out that this plane was actually a house. A home that was lived in by a guy named Bruce.
Hello.
I met Bruce in a way that I can only assume is a fairly common way to meet Bruce. I just walked up the stairs to the back of the plane, peeked through the window on the door, and saw nothing. One of the visitors who followed me asked if I saw anyone there. I turned to her, responding, "No, not that I see." But as I turned back to the window, I'm greeted by a man's bare chest staring back at me. I startled a bit, remembering finding his website the night prior, which says to please accept that incidental nudity occurs. This is his home after all, and he often only wears clothes when there are guests around. Bruce then cracked the door open, explained he just woke up because he works on Japanese time, but if we gave him half an hour, he'd let us inside and show us around. And he did just that. He welcomed me and the other visitors into his home. You might expect someone who lives this type of life to be eccentric, but I don't think that word quite fits the calm ease that Bruce emanates. His measured mannerisms and clear, concise communication demonstrates he is very well practiced in the art of welcoming guests into his unique life. The enchantment this character casts into the lives of his visitors simply by sharing his unique life with us left me feeling like a kid pretending I was in some magical variation of our own world. Except, I wasn't pretending. After he gave us a tour, he took us onto the wing, and he told us about his life, how he lives here, and why.
So a lot of advantages. It'll last almost forever. Earthquake-proof, wind-proof, fun, and much cheaper than an ordinary home. So it's ironic. You could spend a lot less money, establish a home, which will last almost forever, endure things an ordinary home could not possibly endure. You have to be bold. People don't do this, so you have to be bold, but there are substantial advantages, and you can do it. It's not that difficult. You are looking at 53.5 kilograms of human mass. I did it. If this can do it, you can do it. So.
As Bruce shared his life, home, and how to climb on top of the plane with us,
Up to the shelf, like so, then away, and up, and...
the fear of potential non-fulfillment that I'd been feeling only a day prior was no longer a presence in my mind. Rather, I now felt like I was living in the pages of a novel. I was in those first few chapters where the hero has only just crossed the threshold of adventure, has only just left home, and discovers his first piece of the mystical world outside of what he's always known. All of those feelings were swirling through my head and my heart, but the only way I knew how to articulate that feeling at that time was to say,
It feels like I'm in a Ghibli movie right now. Or Ghibli.
Perhaps more importantly than anything else, though, I felt that childlike wonder come rushing back.
This is genuinely one of the absolute coolest things I've ever done. Like, right now I feel like I'm on an adventure. And last night I felt the monotony. seeping in. It's crazy how much fluctuation there is in that realm. And I guess it's a reminder of that as well, that life is never perfect. Life is never what you imagine. It's trying to find the balance between reality and adventure. Accepting the things that are necessary and that, may be mundane, but do have to be done, while simultaneously allowing yourself to choose the things that will set your heart on fire, the things that will make you feel like you're living a fantastic, incredible story. Wow. An adventure. A life.
This day felt like a fantasy, and that's what I needed.
Ooh, Segoy.
To see that it is possible, it is magical, and it can be real. It's something I'll always remember. The plane in the woods, the choice of adventure, and Bruce. A man who welcomes people into his unique life because...
Well, it's not altruism. Maybe it's a little bit of altruism,
Okay.
but mostly I derive a great deal of benefit from all my visitors too.
Mm.
They're charming people, and I learn a lot because broad ranges of knowledge are represented. It's social time. It's fun.
In all the videos I've seen about this place, I never once heard mention about the person who lived there. But to me, he made the place what it was. Literally, of course, but also in experiencing it. It was his perspective, his stories.
This is a summertime fairy tale, and you're the main characters in the fairy tale, so...
It was that which left an impact on me, greater than the comparative simplicity of a plane being in the woods. And then came time to leave. And that evening, I found myself sleeping in my car in a parking lot yet again, but this time with a new perspective.
I guess today was a reminder that, as in life, this journey that I'm going on will have its ups and downs. This is the part of the adventure you don't see in the stories, in the movies. The part where, I'm sleeping in my car outside of a Walmart or outside of a Planet Fitness or outside of a house in just a neighborhood. That's reality, but it's still part of the adventure. Just as climbing on top of a plane is part of the adventure and incredibly exhilarating and fascinating. And after the plane, I went and I sat in a pizza place that I thought was going to be faster than it was. It was very slow, good milkshake. The pizza was all right.
As I sat in this slow pizza shop, I had a moment of realizing that it's okay if it's not thrilling 24/7. It can never be that way, even on the adventure of a lifetime.
You have the moments that are storybook moments.
And you have the moments that happen in between the pages. I don't think that idea is technically any different than the idea I had before I went to the plane. But that dose of magic changed my perception of the mundane. Just because moments don't make it into the script doesn't mean the story isn't still actively happening. Nor does it mean those moments are meaningless. And for all you know, the magical moments are just around the corner.
I've kind of come to a point where I've let go of the need for it all to be exhilarating, and that's kind of allowed me to enjoy the sitting in a parking lot moments. Going on the plane was choosing adventure, and there's so many other things that I will do that will be choosing adventure. But TLDR, plane home cool. I'm excited for what the journey is going to bring next. All right, I don't know how to end this, so I'm out. Okay, yeah. Bye.